Peace to the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat Podcast. Peace to the gang, and welcome back to Quit the Cat Podcast. It's your boy BP, alongside the Bishop, and we're coming to you from Bang Bang Fitness Center here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, is a behavioral science, behavioral therapist, my bad. Damn. He is the owner of 3 dogs, Jada Style and Sheep, Locks, you know what I mean? And one of his proudest moments is receiving his associate's degree in elementary education.
Yes, sir.
And then he's also certified CPR. Is that an instructor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's teaching us how to do CPR today, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
You already know what time it is. We're here with Steven Johnson. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on,
brother? Welcome to the podcast.
Yes. Appreciate the invite.
Absolutely. So before we get started, we got to do a quick vibe check. Bishop, how you feeling?
I'm attracting, bro.
Oh, he's attracting. Okay. Yes, sir.
Attracting all things.
Yes, sir.
Right.
There we go. How you
Yes.
feel today, Steve?
Amazing, man. Amazing. Always. I wake up happy. I go to work happy. I get done work happy. Go more work and happy. It's just all vibes. All vibes, man.
I like that.
Can't beat that at all.
Started off with the gym, too. You got to start off with the gym workout.
Absolutely.
Say 6 a.m., 6:15. We at the gym.
How you feeling, B?
I'm on a kite.
You on the kite? Oh, God. From yesterday?
I'm on a kite.
He said, I'm lifted right now? Right now?
Oh, yeah. I'm good. I'm on the kite. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. I see where this is going.
So.
What's up, man? Good brother. I'm here sitting with 2 Redskins fans.
Hey, let's go.
That is good.
Let's
money.
go.
Hey, what's
Commanders.
What it do, my guy?
Let's go.
What it do?
We're going to tear it up next season.
It was so crazy. I went to the Hall of Fame March 10th. We was well represented in the Hall of Fame. That's all we're well represented in the Hall. We're well represented in the Hall. Some good stuff.
Let's go, baby.
And he's a Brown fan. That's so different.
I'm Gucci. I feel good as a Browns fan. I'm okay.
Hey, y'all improving every year, yo. Y'all improving every year.
If watching show out, it'll be all right.
If he play how
if he show out, it definitely will be all right.
He just got to show up and be him.
He got a full off season this year. He's gonna be good.
So
no massage polish.
Yeah, that's cool. We good.
Keep it low.
Yeah. So for those that don't know you, I want to start from the beginning and just give us a little background on yourself. Upbringing, what brought you to where you are now, and just the passion that you have now. How did we get here?
So I grew up in Camden, New Jersey.
Okay.
I went to a program called Urban Promise. Urban Promise is amazing. But that was like before your boys clubs wasn't there, all your AAUs and all that, that wasn't there, right? So it was like everybody went to like a camp. And at Urban Promise, what it was is it took the hood off the streets.
Okay.
And it taught us God. Like, to play basketball games, you had to know a Bible verse.
Okay.
You was not getting on the court if you didn't know your verse.
Right.
Okay.
So, like, it integrated you and poured into you, even though, like, as a kid, like, we really didn't get it.
Right.
It was really like, I need to know my verse.
Yeah.
So I can hoop. Right. And you know your verse, you can't. So
Right.
I'm remembering John 3:16. I'm remembering Jesus' web. I'm going Romans 23. Okay, here we go.
Right.
So as an adult, like, I can spit these things down, but it was pouring into me as a kid, even though I really didn't grasp that.
Right.
And so, like, in Camden, New Jersey, the other thing is, like, you fought all the time. Like, it was a walking fight. Most of the time, it wasn't with your homies, but it could be with your homies. Right. So, I used to laugh, like, the drug dealers, what they used to do was they would circle you up. Like, everybody in the block had to circle you up. They throw you gear, throw gloves. And what they would do is, though, what I thought was really, really dope, like now looking back on it, they wouldn't do bullying.
Right.
So, let's say the bishop wanted to box me. And I was like, nah, I don't want no smoke. Then they'd be like, bitch, you got to box somebody else.
Right.
So, it, like, was training you and teaching you that, you don't pick on people who weak. Right. You try to, like, uplift them if anything. Right. So I'm not picking on you.
Right.
So if you want to box somebody, you better step your game up. You gotta go box Jamal or somebody.
Right.
Somebody that you know that equally. Right. So right, because the whole hood was boxing, but we wouldn't pick like the strongest versus the weak.
Right.
So that was a good thing. But then single mom, Well, I wouldn't say, yeah, single mom. Like, my dad was in my life until I was 14. I ain't seen my dad since I was 14.
Okay.
We moved to Harrisburg, 96. It was crazy. When we moved down here, we had the crazy blizzard. I don't know if y'all remember.
I remember.
We had the crazy blizzard.
Yeah,
we moved to Pennswood. We was like jumping off the balconies into the snow and everything.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, yo, they get snow down here? Yeah. Like, I ain't know nothing about Harrisburg other than, like, it was the capital of PA. That's all I had. See, you were with Harrisburg. What's that? Capital of PA. Anything else? I don't got nothing else for you. I ain't know if it was all black or white. I ain't know what the denominations, what diverse I was going to.
Right.
So we move out here and get all this snow. I only say that because we don't get no snow now. Like, I'll be looking for this snow. We don't get anything. Like, I feel like it Passover consistently.
Yes.
I ain't
that's
mad
my
at
little
that,
snow
though.
thing. I be liking the snow.
Oh, I hate the snow.
See, I'm born 11/28, so I'm in the midst of it. I want that cold weather.
Listen, brother, I accept all seasons. I'm not one to say I hate it. I accept it all. So I do. What did I look forward into a amount where it wasn't going to kill my back shoveling? But I did want to look forward to the seasons being what they are.
Yeah, and then I grew up shoveling, so the shovel game was dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, so I'm trying to shovel everything. I only know hustle. If I wasn't shoveling, I had the lawnmower. I was the kid who was
something.
Ms. Johnson, 10, 5. Okay, that's 5. 8.
Yeah.
So I rock with the 5, but the grind was always there.
Absolutely.
And like, my mom's number one thing growing up was like, be a leader. Be a leader. She didn't care what it was. Like, my man TJ would come and be like, yo, you going to go hoop? My mom would be like, do you want to hoop? If you don't want to hoop, you don't have to hoop. But I'm like, it was basketball. Like, everybody, this is what we always want to do. But my mom thing was like leadership. Leader. Good, bad, or indifferent, you make your own choices. Right? And so, like, all that, like, instills. Like, it pours in. It just pours in. And like, it manifests itself as you get older.
Right.
So when you grow up, you start to, you learn, like, servant leadership, what it look like, lead from the front, but be humble. Right. Nobody needs to know what you got, what it's doing. You just doing things. You just trying to pour out.
Right.
Like, the CPR thing, like, I've been doing it for, like, I want to say, like, 20 years.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You remember, how was it being 14, having your dad in your life, and then all of a sudden you uproot and move, and he no longer was playing that role in your life? I'm curious about that.
Yo, anger. Like, I was absolutely angry at everything moving. It was crazy. So my man is Deron Stern. When growing up in high school, if you saw him, you saw me. You saw me, you saw him, right? So my thing was, we call it, now we look back at it, it's called SMD. Like, I would say SMD, think about what it means for a guy.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm going to follow that up, like, you can't beat me. Yeah, what it really meant was that I was with it.
Right.
So no matter what was popping, hey, I don't think you can beat me.
Right.
So we will figure this thing out. And so that was like my logic, right? Because I had all this anger, like, built up in me. And I remember I used to just cry. Like, I really just used to cry. We would go to, like, McDonald's or something. And, like, something would trigger me. I would think about my dad, and I would just start crying. And I would just start crying. My mom would be like, you okay? And I'd be like, I'm good.
Right.
I'm all right. Or my favorite saying as a kid was, like, I got it under control. Now, let me preface this by saying, like, I'll go back to Jersey. We moved because my dad was an owner-operator truck driver. He got in a crazy accident. He actually had a tumor in his head. And so when the tumor bust, right, he lost all memory, all cognitive, right? So how to read, how to write, what's my name, what's my brother's name, like, everything we take for granted, like, all of that was gone, right? And so, like, I remember going to the hospital, like, just crying, like, man, what am I going to do with that? Crying. Come to find out, he made so much money, he was doing drugs, and, like, my mom didn't know. So my mom was like, look, you got to stop doing drugs. We all good. We going to stay here. Right? So he went back to doing drugs. And when he went back to doing drugs, we relocated. Right? So we relocate. I'm 16 now. I haven't seen him. I went down there. His mom died. My grandma, she died. So I went down there. That was dope. I took a train for the first time in my life. Shout out to the trains. All right. So I took the train first time. So I get down there. He bought me a pair of Jordans, the little black ones. I don't know what number they are. I'm a big Jordan guy. Bought me the Jordans, talk about how you're going to be a part of my life and everything else. Come back up, all that was a wash. And then, like, remember how I told you, like, he lost everything?
Yeah.
Well, he started to get everything back. But when he started to get everything back, he didn't look to reach out. And so that cuts even deeper, right? Yeah. So, because I can get and understand, like, you don't got it. You don't know it. You getting it back, right? As you start to get it back, like, the dude inside me now is like, why wouldn't you seek out for your family? Right? I understand not knowing this. I understand not knowing that. But once you start to get that, right? Like, stop doing drugs. Come back to the family. Excuse me. And he didn't. It's like, actually, he started another family with somebody else.
Oh, dang.
And so when he did all that, at that time, it was just more anger, more, like, hard feelings, more that type of thing. And so I didn't know how to cope. I didn't know how to talk. And what I teach people is that, like, you got to be able to speak your trauma. Okay. So if you can speak your trauma, you can live past it. Right. So I'm a behavioral therapist, right? But during the day, I work at a school as a therapist.
Okay.
So I talk to my kids about everything. I talked about me not having a father. They be like, Mr. Steve. I'm like, yo, you got to know this stuff.
Right.
And I can talk about it now because I'm good. Right. I ain't struggling. I ain't stressing over it. It's like a burden that's been lifted off a long time ago. So now that I'm open, I can share. I can tell you this, that, the other. Like, the good stuff he did, hey, he taught me how to box. I put that foot on top of your foot, and he be like, you can't move out this circle. And you better figure this thing out on how to use these hands. Right? How to run in football, how to jump, how to do this. But then I can tell you that, he also ghosted out of nowhere. And then when after everything that happened, and it was a tragedy, right? Because of the accident. But you get right, and then you still don't reach back out to me.
Yeah. So
at the time, it was like, So my mom would be like, you cool? Got it under control. What that really meant was, like, I'm punching on anything that try to walk past me. Anytime we got into something, I was like one of the people like, hey, I'll fight. I don't care. Win, lose, or draw. Because I didn't know what I was doing anyway. Right? And so my whole life then, it was set up on, like, I'm going to be a better man than you. I'm going to be a better man than you. Be a better man than you. Be a better man than you. But what I didn't get at the time, and it was like later on in life, like probably late 20s, like as I got out of college, was like, I'm doing this wrong. If I'm trying to be better than you, I'm not being me.
So you were saying better than other people or better than your dad?
Better than my dad.
Got you.
So I'm fighting him. He don't even know he's in a fight.
Yeah, right.
He has no clue he's in a fight. But in my mind, that's where I'm at with everything at the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yo, you doing this all wrong. Like, you looking to be better than somebody, and being better than somebody, you're not being true to yourself.
Okay. Absolutely.
And so at that time, like, a new Steve, like, starts to rejuvenate, energize, whatever you want to call it, to, like, be me, which is really happy, which is really outgoing, outspoken. Like, whatever you want to do, I'm going to do. Like, if you want to do something, if I got time, I'll do it. He hits me. Right? Bishop, Steve, you want to come on a podcast? Sure. No idea. I ain't asking what it was about, what we going to be speaking on topics, off topic. Can't talk about this, that. What time you want me to be there? Crazy thing is, I got my mom thing with running a little late sometimes, so I'm a little late sometimes. You know what I mean? So, other than that, though, if I can be, I'm there. If I can go, I'm there. Like, let's have some fun. Like, this thing is one thing, and we're going to ride this thing. And he's always been a good dude, so, you call, I come. But that's the inside me right now.
Right.
But it took going through that to understand, like, who you want to be. And so now that I know who I want to be, like, this is easy. Like, doing therapy is easy. Working with kids is easy. Like, that's who I am.
Right.
Like, being behind a desk 8 hours, I'd be like, oh, man, whatever.
Right.
Life is over.
Right.
So I'm working within my passion. I actually had a conversation with one of the girls. We were, like, off of school and came back. She was like, you want to be here? I was like, yeah. She was like, are you sure? I was like, oh, amazing.
Right.
This is what I do. Like, I'm in my niche. I'm working within my passion.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, like, the trials and tribulations as a kid and all that, like, I get to pour into other kids. Right. What only makes me a blessing. Right. What only makes me excited about everything. Like, I don't care what we doing. We 8 a.m. I'm like, yo, what it do? Take your hood off. Let me see your face.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to see the good faces and the ugly faces.
Right,
Some of y'all ain't all cute.
Yeah.
Right? And I be playing with them. I be joking.
Right.
But it is all love. So, like, I'm strict on kids.
Yes.
But I think they come to it because, like, they know us out of love.
Right.
Right? I ain't never looking to harm anybody.
Yes.
I'm only looking to wrap my arms around you and put this 10.5 inside you.
Right.
Because I need to motivate you. Because I want you to be better than your circumstances.
Absolutely.
Right? I want you to be better than your environment. And so, it just comes out. It just pours. But that's just who I am at this point in time.
So let me ask you, with that in the children, do you like so? Because you had your situation, and did you ever have that conversation with your mother as far as how you were feeling, or did you feel as a boy, like a young man, because at that age you becoming your own man because you have no male influence, so we start to
Gravitate towards
right. So was it to the point where you didn't want to have that conversation, or you didn't know how, or you were just cool with being angry? Because see, some people being angry, it goes all bad. It goes all bad. And then if you don't have a mom that is being a mother to raise you, and instead of just focusing on her life, but see, okay, a father is missing, so now I am not just the mom, I have to also, because we know now in this day and age that we have to be strategic. Because that's okay, you don't have a dad in the home, but there are millions and on top of millions. A woman can do it by herself. So that can give their sons just what they need, because everybody might not run into you because you're a good male role model, and you're going to give them enough that when they go back with mom or they go outside, they know, okay, I look up to Mr. Steve, he's my role model. Is it, I'm saying this to say, is there a way that you make sure that it sticks with them, so when they do leave you and they go to these single parent homes and the mom is not mothering in that way that will keep them off the streets, or know that they matter, or whatever the consequences are, is that like a focal point for you to make sure that you speak into their life where they don't turn into criminals, or they don't become a part of the prison pipeline?
No, I'm with you.
Is it? Do you think of that when you're talking to them? Do you see that? Or?
So, I would say this. My mom is tremendous. Like, everybody got the best mom. I got the best mom. Like, Tina Renee Johnson held it down. 3 boys, all hard-headed and everything else, right? My mom is the mom who's there thick and thin, and she's only positive. At the same time, she'll hit you with that belt growing up. Yeah. And so she used to be like, I think I ain't beat you enough. Because at like 12, I think I stopped. I think she stopped. Like, my brothers are older than me, so I think, they wore out a little bit. Mom kind of petite. She like 5'4" and a half, so she's like, just gonna let him go. Pay him on punishment. So it was one of those things. So I can't speak to what somebody else got, because I knew what I had in my mom, right? But I do try to make sure that you got it inside you, right? So regardless, right, whether you got the dad, don't got the dad, got the mom, don't got the mom, got the supports or whatever, like, it's in you. And so my thing is, I'm never giving up on a kid. And I got some kids on my load, or my case, like, I call it the load, because my case load, where they be like, how did you come up with this scheme? Where did this one come from? Like, and it is that mindset, but it's the mindset of like, yo, you can get there. Yes. Like, you can really get there. I look at my brother, right? My brother been in and out of jail, selling and everything, right? Throughout the 20s. Yeah. It like, I want to say he hit like 35. It just like snapped. Might have been a little bit before that, but I think around like 35, it really just like clicked, right? Yeah. And that's because really, like, my mom never stopped. Yes. Like, absolutely. we going to the prisons. We sending condoms. He coming home like you don't know nothing about a smashy. I'm like, well, what is a smashy?
Tear him up. You
get it. You
still got smashies on deck? Oh God, continue. I'm sorry.
Right now, you don't even know. Like it like tricking. He was like, oh.
He said, what?
Well, that's
I
why.
had one last week.
So then he was like, you grab every candy bar that's ever like man-made.
Yeah.
Right? You throw the brownie in it, and then like you smash you up.
There's got different ways you can make them.
Right.
That's a little bit more better.
Right? It's
He said there's a more elegant way to go about this.
Right?
I don't make mine like that.
I use paprika. Like,
I just like to sprinkle chocolate chips among the tops. You know what I mean?
you gotta put the peanut butter on last. Right? Right? So my brother used to come home with these niggas. You be like, alright. Then like we grew up, like my mom, she worked in Atlantic City, right? She was the manager in Atlantic City. And like, so we played cards. I've been playing spades, pinochle, what we call pity pat, y'all call deuces, right? I was like, what is a deuces? Right? Like, I'm grown, only pity pat. Okay. And I'm like, oh, it's the same game, different. Yes. All right, cool. So my brother would come home and be like, Steve, don't touch your cards. You gotta let them marinate. I'd be like, what?
Gotta let them do it marinate.
So he used to tell me. I'd be like, what you talking about? He like, stop picking up your cards. You gotta marinate.
Yo.
Right? And then my brother was like a bully. So my brother would be like, if you don't stop doing it, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Oh,
like that's his move. Like man of little words and only actions.
Yes.
And then he developed this joint that's called the heart punch, which is like you take your fist and you put it on somebody's heart and you just press down. That thing hurts. He be like, I'm gonna give you a heart punch. I'm like, chill, Puck. I don't want no problems.
Damn.
I don't want no problems. So, my mom, right, was pouring into him all along.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he get an opportunity. My brother's always been good with the art thing, right? So you get an opportunity. He doing welding, making what I'm making.
Right.
If not more.
Right.
Then he's like, yo, I'm going to do the underwater welding joint.
Yeah.
Then you go on surpass me what I'm making.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So we talking about all your fails, everything you want in your justice system and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we eating right now.
Absolutely.
And so if that can happen to him, right?
Yes.
It can happen to anybody, right? Although I want to prevent, right? I'm preventative,
Right.
Right? But I'm never going to stop pouring in.
Yes.
I look at it like, you ever see The Guardian before?
No, I don't think.
All right, see, like I do the movie thing, right? It's a
Okay.
Kevin Costner movie with Ashton Kutcher, and he says something in there that's really like profound to me. He's like, yo, it was like because Kevin Costner was like the champion. He was like, yo, how'd you save so many lives?
Right.
What's your big number on who you save? And he said, listen, all I do is go as hard as I can go for as long as I can go.
Mm.
And that's just my mindset. Like, I just go as hard as I can go for as long as I can go. And I'm trying to catch everything.
Right.
Right? And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to catch him. I don't know.
Right.
I know that there's times that I'll be at like 7-Eleven and a little man will be like, well, he's not even little no more. He'd be like 22, 23.
Yeah.
I don't even recognize you, right? He'd be like, Steve Johnson? I'd be like, you know, I'm hood.
Yeah.
What's up?
You ain't here to serve me.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who you are.
What's going on?
And he'd be like, yo, I just want to say thank you.
Okay.
I'd be like, for what? He'd be like, you remember the Boys and Girls Club? I don't. Because I've been a club kid all my life. I still go to the club. Right? And so, like, anyway, right? I don't care if I'm at school. I don't care if it's CPR. I don't care if I'm doing the therapy thing.
Right.
I don't care if we just playing video games. Like, I'm always trying to pour, and I'm always trying to be better. Like, and even like when I fall short, like I'm gonna get up. I'm like, that was a bad choice.
Right.
So it's not even about being perfect. It's about just understanding that I see things bigger than me, and so whether I give advice and you take it or don't take it, I'm okay with that.
Right.
Like, I don't look at it as disrespect. I don't get offended.
Yes.
Like, I just look at it as like I'm trying to help.
Right.
And so I'm always going to be in the mindset of what can I do to help the next person, right? What can I do to assist? How can I assist? While at the same time, I'll parallel park there and tell you, I'm a big believer in self-care.
Okay.
Like, long as I can go, as hard as I can go, yeah. But when I'm off, I'm off.
Right, absolutely.
Right? When we chilling, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I'm going to revert to that kid from Camden. I'm going to have all the jokes, all the buses.
Yes.
Right? I'm going to, take a shot. I'm going to do all that stuff.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm human.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so it don't happen that much. It's not that often.
Yes.
But when it does go down, it does go down.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you just got to take care of you.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, if you look, I said my greatest accomplishment was, like, I graduated from HACC.
Uh-huh.
Right? Now, the story behind that was, like, I wasn't even going to go to college. Right? So, Gary graduated from the high, 2000. 2 G's.
Wow,
right?
That's 2 G's. He's a Redskin fan. He's class of 2000. That's another one, my man. We locked in, bro.
Right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
So, my mom was like, you going to college? Pure lie. Absolutely, Mom. Didn't know what a college was, college application,
right.
nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, anybody know anything about college?
Right.
Steve might go out of HACC. What's HACC look like? What's that about? It's a community college. Oh, that sounds good. 2 years, is it?
Right.
Man, I went to HACC. HACC was 4 years in. Right, I'm dropping classes. The Boys and Girls Club sponsored the HACC, so I got scholarships coming.
I was lit.
And but look though, you gotta have your 2.0, right? So you gotta have your 2.0. I'm struggling to maintain the 2.0. I'm in class today like, no, this ain't it I'm about.
Right.
All right, put my backpack on.
Right.
Middle class, still disrespectful, still a knucklehead, not knowing what's really at stake, right?
Right.
So I'm leaving. I'm out. What? Test in 30 minutes. I'm a long test taker. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. All
Right.
So I'm trying.
Pilling. Just pilling.
I'll be when you get to college.
Yeah.
I lasted one solid semester. I didn't do shit that semester, but continue.
But no, because you be like, because in my head, I'm like, all right, they paying for it. I don't got no bread, they paying. So
and the teachers will tell you don't have to be here. So you be like, oh, I don't have to be here? Oh, I'm out there. You know what I mean?
Yo. So that was my mindset throughout. Now the craziest thing is, right, it's going to offend some people, but this is what happened. True story. All real. So my teacher name was Tony E. Joma. African dude. It was for geography. Yo, I didn't know there's so many rivers and lakes and everything else, my guy. We talk about across seas, everything, right? So I go to him like my story with everybody. Like, yo, I'm out here, my paper, I need you to sign this so I can drop this class. He was like, got his voice up. He got all deep on me. He was like, hey, so you think this man can't teach you? You think this man can? I was like, yo, he just started like pouring into me. And so when he started pouring into me, like I left out the joint, like I need to pass his class. Right. So I felt that. And that was like the first time somebody ever was like, you not failing.
So you went from leaving the class to now staying in the class and being like, I gotta pass this.
Right. The motivation. Because in my head, I'm like, yo, I done failed 2 tests. Let me get ready to pack this thing up. No, y'all already know. If I get 2 of these things going in, is that a 56 and a 64? Oh, yeah. We about this thing. Right? We about this thing real early. Like, so I end up passing this class, but then, like, it started to help, like, feel yourself a little bit. Right? So then I started taking all these elementary ed classes. I started to feel myself a little bit more. I finally passed. Now it took 4 years. HACC is supposed to be a 2-year institution, right? Took 4 years.
Who's counting?
I passed this joint, but I was like, at that time, yo, you couldn't tell me nothing. Nothing. I didn't care if it was associates, doctor. I just know that I was lit. And so, like, they got me on tape. I'm like, yo, they said I wasn't going to graduate high school. I did it. They said I wasn't going to get my associates. I did it. I'm about to go get my bachelor's, go get a master's. I might slide back and get my doctorate. Like, I'm spitting on this camera, not knowing the associates is, like, supposed to be the little guy, right? I don't even know that stuff. Right? So then I go to Millersville. Boom. I'm like, yo, let me be a president. I'm the president of our social work department. Okay. Boom. We get that. And first, I didn't even know what it was, right? 'Cause I actually went there based on a girl. So I was like, I'm going to ship. She's like, I'm going to Millersville. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going. Right. Well, look at me all going to MU then.
Where you go? Right. You go. I'm there too.
So we go to MU. You will be here for 2 more years. I like 2 more years before you can get into the LL program, which is 4 years. I like, yo, I can't do that.
So we talking 6?
Yeah, but that's on top of the 4 I already gave you, right? So now I would have, so I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. They was like, well, you can get a year of general studies, and then we gotta figure out what we're gonna do. During that time, my girlfriend way back then, roommate, was a social worker. So I was like, what's that? She was like, you like a teacher without an office and a desk. I was like, oh, I can do that. Right. So I just dove in. And at that time, like, my like drive was high. Right. But now here's the other part though. I was still a dummy. Right. So I would give you this 3-page paper. That will have like, yo, Delisa used to write so many red lines in this joint. Like I would be like, damn, Steve, you can't you write how you talk. In my mind, I'm like,
it sounds good.
I think that's how everybody do this thing.
I
ain't really take school serious. Right. So like I'm skating. However you can skate by.
You gotta learn how to learn.
Right. Right. Absolutely. That is spot on. Right.
Learn how to learn.
And so even with like taking tests and stuff, I'm still struggling, barely getting any. And she's like, yo, you gotta do note cards. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, I use note cards. I say, yo, I learned to do these note cards. And when I tell you I write note cards, I write note cards. I rehearse the note cards. I put numbers on the note cards, or I'm an alphabet. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do 1A, 2A. Like I'm in there. And so then like the drive was always there, but then I had somebody like helping me get to where I want to be.
Help structure it.
Right. To give you that path. Like you can be crazy down the court, or you can come with like a plan on what we doing these things, right? And so then I started to develop a plan. And so then like when I started to write papers, I started to paraphrase things differently. So where though it wasn't like blah, 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 it was like, I firmly believe that due to these, this data points, now I can articulate. So now the kid that was a knucklehead is starting to have knowledge behind it. And so now you start to have like both sides. So you have that street life a little bit, not too crazy, because I ain't do all the drugs and all that stuff, right? That was my brother's thing. But you know that world.
It's like outside.
Right. So I'm not scared to walk anywhere. I'm cool, comfortable. Right. And so you know that world, but now you could throw a suit on with it.
Absolutely.
Right? So then I passed that and graduated with my bachelor's. So I was like, yo, HACC was harder than this.
Really?
Because HACC was like, when I look at it, HACC was like,
that was the foundation.
The
foundation is.
So like, Steve, what's the most important thing? HACC.
Right.
Yo, I got a bachelor's and 2 masters. What's your HACC? When I got on my grind at HACC a little bit, I would walk in a law class. She'd be like, you got 30 minutes. I need 6 pages.
Oh, man.
I'm on. Right? And all the other ones, they be like, hey, you do this, you do that. I had 2-page double space. We did a reference letter at the end. I'm like, so y'all need? I got you here.
Right.
I can still go to the parties. I can still chill over here and do over there. I got there when I was 21, so I might go drink. Then, like, it was so crazy. Me and my boy Reese, we would end up in the library. Library is 24 hours. We end up in the library like 2, 3 a.m. Type our paper up. 8 a.m. class. Go right to the 8 a.m. class. Here you go. What you Gary do? I'm Gary go out. Gary go back to sleep real quick. But it was, and no matter what we did, we both ended up at Turkey Hill, 5-hour energy drink. Shout out to y'all, whoever made that. I'm popping that joint. I'm right over to the library. Oh yeah, let's go. You start feeling your work that you handed in. You getting A's back. So I get the bachelor's. So now, in the process of getting the bachelor's, I intern at Children and Youth. This is when people like, when you don't know what you don't know. I'm at Children and Youth. They're like, Steve, you work with kids? I'm like, yeah, I grew up with kids. I've been tutoring since I was 14 and everything else. They was like, you know what you do at Children and Youth? I'm like, you work with kids and teenagers. They was like, kind of, sort of. You know, you're on the table with all the people. They just trying to bring you on. Like a bag of back channel way, but get kind of sort of, just keep them safe. Man, children, you work with like 98% of the parents.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. But I didn't know any of that, right? I didn't know any of that. But like, my peers elected me chief shop steward. So now I'm sitting in meetings with judges and lawyers and everything else. I'm help writing our contract. Now, this comes from the kid who was SMD in the world. Right? Yeah, so you got to look at in my head, I look at all of it like, yo, it's all right now.
Yeah.
Right? So now.
That's where I made it to.
Yeah. But, and then like, this is where the humble come out. Like, I'd be chilling. Like, this story was told to y'all and the masses that watch it. But other than that, like, I just like, yo, man, I just seen some things. I've been around some stuff, but I'm good, man. Right? Because it's never like, started from the bottom. I'm still like, nah, I'm all right. Like, yo, because everybody has a story. And so your story ain't better than nobody else's, right? It's just another story. There's another chapter. So you screaming like, I did it. I was down here. You hear it, man. Yeah. Right? You just be appreciative that you here.
Absolutely.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
And so it's never I'm better than you. I gotta get on your level. I'm not on. You not on my level. No.
Right.
Because as I slowly start to get older, I'm like, yo, listen. I don't care who makes what, who got what, who wear what, how you dress, how you look. Like everything just is about me. And so even when it comes to like, people, as I'm a therapist now, people want to have like conversations, and a lot of times my answer is like, yo, I gotta do mind my business.
Oh, they be trying to get you.
That's the go-to. I don't care where we at. I don't care what be. You a therapist, huh?
So what do you think about?
Yeah, that's the.
I was in a situation last night with my wife and my girlfriend. You think they should get together and sleep? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I be so chill. No, man, I think Steve need to mind this. I go third person and everything. I think Steve need to mind his damn business right now. We all good out here, man. We all smooth. Yeah.
Right.
I get your situation though. I get it. Like
that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to talk to me? Like I don't, because if I spit, I'm only going to be honest, and I'm like, yo, listen. Yeah, I'll give you an answer, but it might be bad for you. Right. I'm not going to just tell you.
That's what it is. Yeah,
it's her. Yeah. Right. That ain't me. I ain't that guy. Yeah. Right. So I remember one of my homies like, yo, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, sure. My baby mom won't let me see my daughter or my son. I'm like, go downtown, go get some papers, and then it's done. Well, then she gonna put me on child support. Well, what do you want?
Right.
Right, where are we at with it then? Yeah. So you either get on child support, or that's let Jamal, William, Tyson, whoever else you gonna date, raise your kid, and they don't know you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
However you want to play it.
That's just what's going to happen. Right? So you saying I should go? Listen, if you don't, you just won't see your son. I don't know how bad you want to see your son.
Yeah.
Right? But if you want to see your son that bad and you want to invest in your relationship, right?
Do what you need to
take her to court.
Right.
And she going to file papers, and it is what it is, and you going to get 50% custody, so maybe they don't hit you with all of it, right?
Right.
So you get take some of that back, but that's your move. Or stop complaining about if she used your son over your head. Stop complaining about if she goes, you don't do this, you're not getting them. Right? You put it in writing to where though it don't matter what you say. It don't matter if you like me, don't like me. It don't matter if you like my girl.
Sacrifice coming with it. And don't want to hear
and so like that's the move. Yeah. Steve, that's what I should do. Listen, I ain't telling you what you should do.
Right.
I'm just telling you like if the goal is to see your son, then that's a way to get that. I don't know your relationship with her, but if that's the goal, then I will put something in writing with a judge to where though you can't decide whether I get to see my son or not.
Absolutely.
That ain't on you no more. Right? So that's what I would do. But if you don't want to do that and you don't want to pay child support, then you know what I mean, just keep dealing with in the cesspool you got going on, player. And I wish you the best. But that's what I would do.
I want to ask you something real quick.
So I'll talk good too.
Anytime
you want to throw some words in the question.
I got you.
He about to ask you something.
Because I want your. I should have had this up.
No, you
I
good,
got
buddy.
my question, but I wanted to.
I gave it to you later.
where
He about to
you-
say, so what do you think I should add different to the smash?
So on
What
the
would you
leadership,
recommend?
right?
Hit home, so he was like, "Oh, that smash was the joint."
Yeah.
When you said strong leadership is one's profession,
Mm-hmm.
it's the blueprint towards building a progressive society.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. First, define to us what is leadership from your opinion, and what leadership is, and what actually do you mean as far as strong leadership is one's profession. We're going to take out your opinion where you put it is one's profession.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how would that be one's blueprint towards building a progressive society?
So we put the wrong people in my head on hierarchy,
Yes, absolutely.
right? And so leadership is the ability to like function within your society, but be an individual,
Yes.
right? And so it's not for you to tell me how great you are.
Right.
It's just for you to do
Yes.
the
Just be
best
great,
you
yeah.
can at being great.
Right.
Yes.
I don't even care if you 70%. Be
Right.
the best 70% you do. Right? If you the trash man, be the best trash man.
Right,
Like
right.
whatever you do, put your foot in it.
Yeah.
Right? Let's walk with a purpose. Let's
Right.
talk with a purpose. Right? Let's have an understanding of who we are and not like all the people above that we want to
Yes.
strive to
Right,
be.
right,
Right? So that's the first definition of a leader. Because if you do that, then you're going to see a bunch of people follow you
Right.
because
Right.
they're going to see you separate yourself from the masses and look to strive to be an individual.
Right.
But still looking to succeed in life.
Yes.
Right? And so it's the pinnacle of a foundation to where though if we can come together and really be leaders,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
right? Not people who like I'm on the next wave somewhere,
Right,
right?
right.
To really stand firm in your foundation,
Yes.
then you're gonna get there.
Yes.
Then they go, well, Steve, where did that initial foundation come from? Yo, the more, and this is the more I get older, right?
Mhm.
I think the Bible sets you up for all of it,
Okay.
right? The Bible puts you in a place to where they're like, oh, this is why you do that. So here, I'll give an example. So, I thought we opened doors as gentlemen, right? Just that, to be
Right.
gentlemen, right?
Right.
It started way back in the day where, like, you just open a door. Like, that was the thing to
Yeah.
do, right?
Yeah.
What they didn't teach you, that I learned in, like, a men's 33 group, shout out to Mr. West, Wink West, that's my mentor, is you open doors to keep the person safe,
Okay.
to make sure they get in and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I thought it was because you just be a gentleman. But now here's the thing with that, right? If it's raining, do I want to be a gentleman?
Right.
If it's snowing, do I want to be
Yeah.
a gentleman? If we just got in a fight, do I want to be a
Right,
gentleman, right?
right.
It puts a lot of context
Yes.
into what a
Right,
gentleman is,
right.
what it looked like, this particular moment,
Yes.
that particular time.
Right.
But now, if we link it to safety, then I'm always going to keep my
Then I'm
back.
gonna always keep the door open for you.
Right.
Yeah.
I always got it.
Yeah.
Why? Because I
Always.
want you to
I need you to
always
get in
be
there
safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, where did I get that from? The Bible.
Right. Okay.
Right? That didn't come from my knowledge, anybody else's, but like it gives you the foundation to how you're supposed
Yes,
to
I
walk.
like
Right.
that. I like that, and I want to add this in here because I think it's so fitting that you said that about the door. Just like I never really realized why my wife used to, and it's the sacrifice because when you're walking down the street, the man's supposed to be closer to the
Yeah,
street.
to the
So if
street,
a car
yeah.
jumped the curb, he's hit first.
Right.
And that's a sacrifice. Listen, it's so crazy because I look at it that it's so overlooked.
Right.
You'll see a woman, oh, get him
Yeah.
outside. But you don't really get the gist
You
of,
don't really see
I'm
that.
willing to
Yeah,
sacrifice
yeah.
my life, or it is for me as a man to sacrifice my
Yes.
life to be the first hit
Yep.
so that you can live.
I was told that as a young kid. Like me and my
No.
mom walking down the street, she's
Yeah.
like, "You stand on the outside all the time by the street, and I stand on the end." And I'm like 10 years old, and she's like, "Yeah, this is where you stand at." And I'm like, So since then, it's been like, I'll be on the outside, get over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now I do understand the aspect, like, I will sacrifice and make sure that you're safe, because I can at least get you out the way and get my ass destroyed. But it's cool. It's cool. But it's for the love.
Yeah. Look, I'm a jokester, right? So I'll be like, all right, babe, I'm going to take on this Buick for you. I got you, you know. Right. Like, don't act like I ain't living. Right. I got you, right? And this Cadillac pop this curves. Yeah. Steve's going to take it with his chest. You know what I mean? I got you. Right? Just want you know. We going to be living, some of us, right? Give me a tattoo somewhere or something. Because I'm going to take...
Keep my memory alive.
I'm going to take with this Cadillac truck coming down. Right? I'm going to take on it. Right. And so, like, you are absolutely right. Like, it's just a safety piece. But the more you, like, learn, like, tidbits, right? The more you can demonstrate how you're supposed to do this stuff. And then when I'm 10 years old, I learned it at 10, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't learn this stuff till later on in life. Right? But if that's how you always carry yourself, then I'm like, yo, why you always going outside?
Right.
Yo, mom always talking.
That's what I'm saying to do. That's what I do, yeah.
Now, like, leadership is like, like, people want to say, like, if you're a leader and nobody's following you, you're just taking a walk. Like, you're just taking a stroll. Right. But if I understand this, I'm going to follow that.
Right.
Like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought they didn't want me on the outside of that joint. Why would I want to be outside? Yeah. I'm trying to be cool too. But now if I understand it,
we are, but that's not what the
it's
case
safety, right? So I'm trying to protect. Like, it's what we do, right? Like, I want to make sure you always good. Yeah. Well, always good mean outside on the walk too. Right.
Yeah, always.
It means like the rain coming down, I'm good. Like, it's not a gentleman, right? It's me protecting you.
That's it.
Right? So I see it differently. So I think the more we can have, like, the real conversations on what a leader is and what it looks like and who we should, like, really look up, who we should really, like, that's how you start to, like, develop that leadership, and then you teach it to the other kids.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a conversation with one of my little mans. He was like, Mr. Steve, I'm like, yo, I need you to be a leader. He's like, well, is leadership telling everybody to sit down when they're up and making noises? I said, no. He said, what you mean? I said, well, look, your teacher's goal is for you to be quiet, right? Mm-hmm. If you start yelling, sit down, what are you doing? He's like, I'm making noise. Right. Like, what I want you to do is, page 22? Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm. Sit down and be quiet.
And now I'm ready.
Right.
That's how you lead.
Right.
You don't join and this circus got going on. Right? You silent within the storm. I'm quiet and I'm ready. I'm locked in and ready to go.
Right.
That's how you start to lead.
That's it.
Yes.
Right? No matter what everybody else is doing, you're on point.
Yep.
And so now you start to understand, like, no matter what else the people are doing outside these streets, right? I'm over here.
I'm good, yep.
Right? We go on vacation, me and my homies. You know what Steve is doing? We in Miami. I'm waking up early in the morning. I'm not going to the gym, but what I am doing is I'm downstairs. Why? At that time, I was in my master's program. I got work to do. I got assignments to handle.
Right.
Yo, we getting this tonight. I'm not. Why? Because I got this tomorrow. Right. You know I got this. And so as you start to get older, for me, like, you start to understand, like, that R word, responsibilities, that trumps a lot of stuff that you normally are able to do, right? So, like, sure, I like to go out and have a drink. I like to go do this. I like to go do that. You know what? I got a session tomorrow at 8. I got one at 9. I got one at 10.
Right.
But Steve, is a Friday night. I don't care if it's a Tuesday night. Like, this is what I got lined up, right? So whatever you got lined up is cool. Like, I ain't here to judge nobody.
Right.
I just can't do it. And so the more you use the more you substitute that in there, the better things are going to be, because you're going to speak to you and your person.
That's it.
Right? What other people do, they do. Like, no, man, I ain't saying you shouldn't. You should. What about this? What about this? Is the sacrifice I got to make to make sure my future is put in the light that I want it to be in.
That's it.
Because at the end of the day, like, if I got a headache and I can't perform, like, you don't care.
Right.
It don't bother you at all. You good.
Yeah.
Right? And so my thing is to make sure that I'm doing the best for me and the people I serve.
Right.
Like, that's how you be that leader. Right? You knock that peer pressure and you be like, like, I used to always be like, yo, I'm not for you. Can't peer pressure me.
Yeah.
So I tell you I'm not doing it.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Every once in a while, would I break? Yeah, but 9 out of 10, we 95% in the words though.
I think leadership
that ain't gonna be me.
It's got scrambled in there with the stars. Like there's integrity that is attached to leadership, and now we have taken leadership to the point where it's by a status or some type of material or some type of symbol. Like even people that feel just because they have like degrees or certain things that they're a leader, and they'll be. It's not the same, because you could be emotionally and socially disconnected.
Right.
And that's where, you know, because in that I, you know, that I factor, or just, you know, I'm doing this because they always rejected me here, so now I want to be here because I'm satisfying something that was neglected back there.
Right.
So I look at it like in leadership, you get chosen. You don't choose to be a leader. It comes with the responsibility of whatever passion is in your heart. Because if God gave you an assignment, you become a leader.
Right.
You have to walk out that assignment. So it is definitely, I see that part, because I remember a comment that somebody had made was like, I'm not a leader, but you started an organization, so now you are.
You
cannot, your integrity has to be in check. You have to check all these boxes. Once you said, this is what I do, and this is what this is, you're in the game. So either if you're going to do it right, or you're not going to do it at all. Right. So you can't just come in and say...
Now, look, real quick.
Go ahead.
Let's define... No. Let's define integrity, right? It's doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Right? So you just do it based on it being right.
Yes.
Like, that's why you do it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And so when you go like, hey, you started an organization, you're the face. Yeah. Because when we see you, we think your organization. When we see your organization, we think you. So they better tie into one. Right? If they don't, then what happens is you like,
they're going to tie into one, because if you were asked, that's what they're
going to
associate with your organization. If you stand up, that's what they're going to associate with your organization.
And if you go like football terms, right? When they go like the face of that franchise, they do, right? And then like you got a franchise quarterback, the face of it, right? You think Cleveland Browns. First thing you think of is Deshaun Watson.
Now,
right?
Absolutely, it channels in. Yes. You think Kansas City Chiefs? You going straight Pat Mahomes? Like, it's you're going to evolve, and then it's like, how do you perform?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Lights are on, lights are off, whatever.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes.
But we got to have that same mindset with no lights, no cameras, no people. Absolutely. Like, I just do it. Now I'll tell you. It's hard.
Yes, absolutely.
We fall short.
Absolutely.
Right. When you fall short, just understand you fell short. Don't make an excuse for it.
Yeah.
That's simple. Yep. That's simple. Yep.
Give you a story.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna laugh at me, but it's whatever. Right? I go to my workout. 6 a.m. At 6 a.m., I come across a wallet. Has money in it. Take the money. It's $1.60. I ain't even look for anything. I just took the money. All through my workout, it's on my heart.
I know it was.
It's on my heart. It's on my heart. I'm like, what are you doing? And I don't even need it, right? I'm in a position and I've been blessed. Thank you, God. I don't even need it, right? But this is how you flesh, right? This is the flesh. This is the revert back to like money. Sheesh! $1.60? Let me get that.
I'm about to go do something crazy for a little bit.
It got nothing to do with anything.
I ain't losing nothing. I ain't winning nothing. But
take the joint, right? Heavy on my heart. My maid comes to she brings me coffee, so I get the coffee. I go, I gotta tell you something. I tell her. She's like, Steve. I said, oh no. What she go do is she go pull $1.60 out, put it in the wallet, take the wallet to the bull's house, and was like, our karma need to be better than this.
Come on.
Damn, yeah.
Come on.
And so, like, it's like, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
But the lesson from her, though.
Yeah. And then, like I am the guy who's a talker, right? So I'm going to let you know good, bad, or indifferent, right? You go on like, I know I stand with Steve, right? So I'm like, yo, this is what happened. She put the 1.6 in there, take it back, knock on the door, give it to him. I see these people all the time. Now, I ain't even know this is my next door neighbor.
Oh, damn.
It's right here. They be like, yo, thank you, shout out for me finding my wallet. I'm so embarrassed to look at.
Damn. Dog.
Yeah, like I don't even want to look, dog. Yeah,
you got it.
Good, yeah, got everything. You know what I mean? I was looking all over the house. Yeah, man, I understand, man.
Yeah.
You got that joint, dog?
That hurts your soul more than anything.
But and she knew I was conflicted about it. But just because she's like, we don't operate in that space.
Yeah.
That's not the. And it's like, Steve, you did it? Yo, I ain't perfect, dog.
Right, for sure.
Right? But I can own it.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And that's the thing. Like, our leaders own your mess up. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Like, that mess up not going to define you.
Right.
Right? But you got to be willing to be like, fell short on that joint.
If you don't own it, it'll define you.
It'll manifest somewhere else, right? It's going to come out.
Yeah.
That's why I've been talking about this whole trauma thing. Like, yo, talk about it.
Yeah.
Why? Because if not, it's going to spread in everything else that you got going on. Be ready for that.
Right.
Right? And so that's going to be a part of what goes on. So when I look at our people, like, yo, just talk. Share. Understand you're better than that moment.
Right.
But that moment got you. The next moment, I'll be ready for it.
Absolutely.
But I'm never scared to like own my mistake. The same way, and then the other end of it, right? This is the serving part of it. Is like, I don't need to raise my hand.
Right.
I don't need to be like, yo, I did that, I did this. I don't need that. No. They're like, Steve, you like talking about me? I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have like at the time they'd be like, Steve, there's a news camera coming. Go speak to him. I'd be like, all right. But it wasn't like the camera's coming. They need to talk to me.
Right.
But if you see I can do it,
Yeah.
yo, go handle that.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the other thing with leaders, right?
Yeah.
You got to be able to step forward. You got to be able to step back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Part of this thing is growing.
Yes.
Man, I work with some amazing people. And part of these guys being this amazing people is they done put foot to my tail.
Right.
Right? And then it's like, I don't want to leave it because you're amazing, but man, I hate to be talked to like this. I hate to go through this. I have supervision with some of the most influential people, and they will not like the work I'm doing. And I'd be like, bro. You ever feel like somebody just smacking you, but they just talking to you? I done got beat up a lot of times. And at the same time, you learn from it. You grow from it. So now years later, I can look and be like, yo, I was doing some crazy stuff. Oh, out here running them up.
Here now.
Yeah, so it's a whole new feeling. It's a whole new everything. Right? It is, like on my shirt, it says, in the back of it, it says, meet you where you are. That's all we about. It's just meet you where you are, man. That's it.
We thank you for meeting us where we at.
Hey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. All love, man.
Yeah,
definitely,
man.
Definitely.
This has been a great interview. We appreciate it.
guys.
We hate to have to cut it short because
No.
I know we have probably much more to say, much more to get into.
Good money.
But, we coming up on our
Kite
hour.
over there, that's the kite.
Yeah, that's the kite. You feel me? Anyway, listen, we had Steven Johnson here today. He stayed this time, this hour with us, gave us some amazing motivational talk, you know what I mean? You can do it. Any last words, real quick, any last words you want to say? Give him something positive real quick.
Listen to God. Don't be afraid.
He's talking to you right now.
Listen to
As I'm talking to you right now. I'm not, listen to me.
Lord.
No, never mind. I'm sorry. We getting out of here.
People
Hey.
where they can find you at. the kite over there about to
Yeah.
I'm about to bring him to the altar, Lord.
Gonna call him in? Let's do a call. Listen, look for coming soon. Meet you where you are. It's gonna be his own little separate entity. It's gonna be CPR. It's gonna be therapy, and
I'm signing up.
It'll be a way to get you to be a better you.
Yes.
Right? That's all we're trying to do. We don't compete. We just look to be better.
That's it.
Yes.
Well, with that said, we're going to be kicking your ass next week. It's your boy BP with the Bishop and Mr. Steven Johnson. Peace to the gang, quit the cap. Holla. Hey. Peace of the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat Podcast.